is a very good defender, and he's going to put forth a defensive effort that I think will rub off on his teammates who are capable defenders. James Harden is an athlete, and he's long. He should be a capable defender. We know what Trevor Ariza is. He's a pretty good defender. Clint Capella is a rim protector. They should be able to play decent defense as a team. Again, this is my dark horse. I do not expect them to win the Western Conference. I don't. But it's also boring to just always pick the Warriors. You know, everybody's going to pick the Warriors. And if you're not picking the Warriors, now you're jumping on the Thunder. And I'll get into that in another preview. I'm going to do a Western Conference preview probably sometime next week. A true, not a dark horse, a true Western Conference preview. But I think Chris Paul changes the defensive mindset of this Rockets team, and I think they have a legit chance now with their offensive weaponry and a new defensive mindset, because their leader will change their mindset. I think the Rockets are a dark horse to win the Western Conference, which leads me to the Eastern Conference. And it took me a few minutes. Again, it's easy to pick the Cavs, and if you don't pick the Cavs, it's easy to pick the Celtics. So I didn't want to pick either team, either one of those teams. So it came down to really three teams. And I'm still not buying the Raptors. Still not buying the Raptors. And I'm just not sure what the Bucks are missing right now. So my dark horse are the Wizards. That's right, you heard me. The Washington Wizards. The second best backcourt in the NBA is in Washington with John Wall and Bradley Beal. That's the second best backcourt in the NBA. And they are a third consistent offensive player away from being a legit contender in the East. And it's going to come down to whomever steps up and takes it up a notch offensively. Otto Porter got paid a lot of money this offseason. He better bring it. And they are an Otto Porter bringing it away from being a legit title contender. And I think Otto Porter takes his game up to another level. And that's why I'm taking the Wizards to be my dark horse in the Eastern Conference. The Wizards. Kelly Oubre is another guy that he frustrates me, because you look at him and you're like, man, I know what he has the potential and the talent to be. But will he reach that? Will he reach that? And if Kelly Oubre and Otto Porter can become those guys, the Wizards are legit. Because they need somebody that when Bradley Beal and John Wall are both off of the floor for whatever reason, whether it's an injury, whether it's a breather, or one of the two are just having an off night, they need that other guy, and it's got to be one of those two. It's got to be Oubre or Otto Porter. The Morris twin, I don't think he's that guy consistently to be the third option. I don't think he's that guy consistently. So it's going to be interesting. And my dark horse NBA champion of those two teams, again, I'm taking the Rockets. That firepower is hard to come by. And they're not going to continue to have those nights where nobody shows up. That's what they had a few times against the Spurs. But when you have a true point guard who can create and get better shots for you and for himself, it makes things a lot easier. A lot easier. And that's what Chris Paul does. That's what Chris Paul does. And he's not had this type of weaponry around him before. He's had some good players around him. Blake and J.J. Redick, in L.A. And he had David West and Morris Peterson in New Orleans. But he's got Ryan Anderson and James Harden and Eric Gordon and Trevor Ariza. These are guys who, to be completely honest with you, they're not just one-dimensional. J.J. Redick was one-dimensional. Blake Griffin, people don't want to admit it, was one-dimensional. James Harden is not one-dimensional. He can get to the rim. He can catch and shoot. He can dance and shoot. Eric Gordon's a good finisher. He's a great catch-and-shoot guy. Trevor Ariza is also a pretty decent slasher and finisher. He can catch and shoot as well. This team has great weaponry at the disposal of their point guard, and he's going to carry them over the top. And I think that's why they're my dark horse 2018 NBA champions. You don't have to agree. Heck, you don't even have to think I know anything about basketball. But again, this is dark horse. Stay tuned. Next week I'll be giving my Western Conference and Eastern Conference previews, where I'll give more in-depth on the playoff teams. And then also I'll be giving my true preseason outlook with all my real MVP, Rookie of the Year choices, my real Western Conference and Eastern Conference champions. And again, I'm going to live a little. I do believe, right now, I'll put it out there, I do believe that it will be another unfortunate Cavs-Warriors NBA Finals. But I'm not going to pick those two teams. I'm going to pick two other teams. I'm going to pick the two teams that I think have the best chance of beating those two teams. That's who I'll be picking. I don't believe that any team will beat the Warriors in 7 games in the West. And if the Cavs are healthy, I don't think any team will beat the Cavs in the East. But just for fun, I'm going to pick the two best teams that I believe the two teams that I believe have the best chance of beating those teams. One from the East and one from the West. So, stay tuned. This again is your boy, Tyrese Biv. Another perspective. I'm out.